Have you ever felt like you knew just what you needed to do to get healthy or to get to the next level of vibrant health? And you started with good intentions. You make a plan and you even get really motivated. And then life happens, because life be lifing, right? Life always seems to throw us curveballs. And sometimes they're not bad things. Like the year I had 3 weddings in 1 year. Yeah, that really happened along with my son's graduation. We had a new grandbaby born, celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary. We'll never beat 2023. It's all I have to say. So there can even be good things that happen, but it kind of derails the plans a little bit because you want to be present with your family, whether it's a vacation or family coming in. Before long, though, we start telling ourselves, why do I even try? Things keep happening. Things keep coming up. This is just life. I guess I'm just going to have to be just doing what I'm doing, do the best I can, but I'm never going to be able to get there. But what if the problem isn't your meal plan or your workout plan? What if the real change starts with the way you're thinking? You know, your thoughts shape your actions. Many of us as women especially, we think we just need more discipline. If I could just be more disciplined, stick to my schedule, stick to my routine, stick to my plan, my eating plan, that's going to make it all better, that we're going to be able to do this. But often what we really need is a mindset shift. Because if you're constantly telling yourself things like, oh, here I go, I've messed up again, I failed, I never stick with anything, I've ruined it all because I missed 3 whole days in a row. If we're telling ourselves these things, they affect the choices we make because it's like this snowball effect. We tell ourselves these things and the next time, boom, that negative thing comes right up really quickly, doesn't it? More so than the positive. It becomes harder and harder to bust through that thinking pattern, which makes it harder and harder to even get started, let alone stick with our healthy eating or healthy movement plans. And this is why inside of my new membership, the Flourish Collective, I start every quarterly cycle with mindset. Because it is so foundational. You can't build healthy habits on a foundation of self-criticism. Can I say that again? You cannot build healthy habits, a healthy, vibrant life on a foundation of self-criticism. And let me tell you, I've been there, done that, and really don't want to wear the t-shirt. I think as women, we are really, really hard on ourselves. I just, I'm not a guy, but it seems to me guys can just kind of blow it off and keep going, right? But we tend to be really hard on ourselves. And probably because we just want to help everybody, we want to be there for everybody, and yet sometimes it's hard for us to show up for ourselves. But we'll say things to ourselves, whether out loud or in our head, that we would never say to someone else, especially our best friend. Because, we try to motivate ourselves with guilt, actually. And that doesn't work, does it? You would never try to guilt your best friend into making sure she was sticking to her healthy eating plan or her workout plan. Guilt does not produce lasting change, and that's why it's such a faulty foundation for having this self-criticism. What usually happens is it creates frustration, perfectionism, an all or nothing attitude, which usually means nothing, let's be honest, and giving up when life gets busy. And boy, does life get busy. I remember when my kids were younger, I thought, boy, when they're older, when they're adults, I'm going to have all this time to finish all those sewing projects, those quilt in a day projects that I never made a quilt in a day or even a block in a day. Yeah, they're still in my sewing room kind of / storage because life is still busy. It just kind of expanded, right? Especially when you have 9 kids and 6 of them are married and we got 4 grandbabies. And so it just keeps expanding. So I don't need to kind of just keep thinking, if I just till this happens, life is just going to be busy. I need a different foundation, right? I need a totally different foundation. Life is different than it was when my kids were little, but I just need to focus that foundation on my thoughts. I need a foundation built on grace, on truth, because this is the thing. We're so gracious with ourselves sometimes that we make excuses, or we're so hard on ourselves with the truth that we forget to have grace. And small, sustainable steps. Like I said, you wouldn't tell your best friend, you wouldn't guilt her into it. You wouldn't just say, come on, Janie, you can do this. Don't flake out again on me. But neither would you just say, it's okay, Janie, that's fine. It's okay, you'll do better next time. Or, hey, Janie, why don't you do 3 huge cardio workouts, and that'll help you burn that fat off, but then also do strength training every other day. And maybe we should go running too. You wouldn't tell Janie that, right? Janie's my imaginary best friend. So we wouldn't do that because mindset affects every other area of our health, especially those choices, like we just said. If we have those kind of mindsets, we're not gracious with ourselves, or we're not truthful with ourselves, or we try to take huge bites, we're going to get in trouble. And sometimes those bites don't seem very big, but for the stage of life we're in, the season of life where our health is, our stamina, I'm in a season of rebuilding my stamina and working with my thyroid being not very optimal right now. So I have to be realistic about that because the mindset affects how I view exercise. And let me tell you, exercise isn't my favorite thing to do, okay? But when I'm really struggling, it's going to be even harder. It's going to be how I respond when I miss a day. Am I going to beat myself up, or am I going to say, okay, tomorrow's a new day? That has been a huge one for me. I didn't necessarily beat myself up, but it just was like, oh, here I go. I only got it in 2 times this week. Well, I got it in 2 times that week. I should be celebrating that, right? I'm always talking about celebrating small wins. Or even whether I'll keep going after a setback, whether that's a 3 weddings in 1 year setback or a health setback or some other family crisis, even how you care for yourself. And we need to take as good a care of ourselves as we do everyone else, because if we don't, we're not going to be there for everyone else. We're not going to be there to enjoy life with them. And I'm going to give you an example from my own situation. As I just said, I'm trying to optimize my thyroid. My stamina has not been where it should be. So I've been a little hesitant to add even gentle cardio in. It's been kind of crazy in northern Indiana with the weather. It was cold, then it was rainy, then it was hot, and then it was back and forth. It was really wet and soggy, so it was hard. I live kind of sort of in the country, and where I walk is fairly good to walk on, but if it gets really wet, it's just not fun. Well, now it's gotten super hot, so it's hard for me to just think, oh, I'll just go for a walk. But I do have a little mini cardio workout that I created, but I still was a little hesitant because of my stamina. I got really sick back in March, and it took me about a month to really get everything back, to where I was kind of sort of normal, and it just took me a little bit to get back even to my workout routine, which had to be definitely scaled back because of that. But I was a little hesitant to add that cardio in. Well, I'm a part of the worship team at my church, and they decided to go do laser tag, have lunch and do laser tag. It's a fun thing to do together. Well, I'm thinking I'm going to have to running around, and it's like, I can't run. I'm not going to go. And my son said, we don't run. You're not supposed to run. I'm like, oh, really? So I went ahead and went. Yes, you can go do laser tag at almost 64 years old. That's what I did just a few weeks ago. Well, I was more defending the base, and it was still a little bit of cardio, let me tell you, between looking for people and, the whole thing. If you've never played laser tag, it really was a lot of fun. But I was thinking, oh, this was fun, but I'm going to pay for this tomorrow. I'm going to be so sore. It had some inflammation. Well, it still do, but it's much less, especially impacting my joints. And I thought, I'm going to pay for this tomorrow. Well, the next day, I was surprised to find that, yes, my muscles were sore, but my joints actually felt better. Because that little bit of cardio, I was not running all over the place, chasing people down. I couldn't if I wanted to. Not running, not even fast walking. Just trying to, moving back and forth, defending bases, trying to shoot my little laser gun at people and not hitting very well. I'm not a good shot. But it was fun, but still, I realized that little bit of cardio I got had moved stuff through, moved the lymph, right? It helps push out that inflammation, just flushing it out. And it was such an eye-opener to me that I had been believing a lie that I couldn't push myself because I might crash. That has been a constant battle for me ever since I had a huge crash where I needed literally 3 naps a day just to function in daily life, not even anything extra. So that's something that I can sometimes have to deal with in different levels. And that was an eye-opener for me that I needed to shift my mindset. I can add a little mini cardio in, and I felt better for it, and I still do. So I'm really grateful that my son let me know that, hey, there's no running there. And I went ahead and went, even though I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be any good at this. It was just fun. Even if I'm not a great shot, it was fun. So that's why at the beginning of every quarterly cycle in the Flourish Collective, my membership, as I said, we start with this mindset because it has to lay the foundation. It's not that we don't move during that first month and we don't worry about healthy habits. It's just that the main focus is mindset. And to give you a little taste of that, I have a fresh reset 5-day mindset reset guide. And I have day 1, a link to day 1 in the description box below. And inside that, you'll discover 3 practical tips to help you to choose fresh food. This one's more about food. Each day has a little different focus. A simple mindset reflection to help you maybe recalibrate, just like I had to, like, oh, wow, I can do a little more cardio, right? And also encouragement to help you to stop starting over, to just sit where you are and look at what things you maybe are thinking that maybe need a little bit of a shift, and seeing like, well, this is actually quite easy for me to make better choices with my food. Like I said, this day 1 is about fresh food. It's a quick win, and you can start it today. It's totally free, and this is actually day 1 of it's how each day goes. Each day is on a little bit different topic. So go ahead and check that out in the description box and download it today, because I'd really love for you to have that and just see what it's like to recalibrate that whole mindset thing. You know, I've worked with women through the years. I've been a trainer for over 14 years now. I've also been a health coach for almost as long, and I've worked with lots and lots of women, and also from my own experiences. And most of us do not need a lot more information. In fact, we are an information overload. Can I get an amen on that? It can be hard to sort through everything, and it can paralyze us, analysis paralysis. We don't really need more information. We just need encouragement. We need grace, and just a way to make healthy living fit our real life. And that's what I am here to do in these videos, on my free Facebook group, and in the Flourish Collective. We officially start in July, but you can get in there right now, and we're actually going to do this 5-day mindset reset towards the end of this month before we get the official start going. So you can get the whole thing when you jump in with us now. So let me sum this up. Lasting change starts on the inside, in our heart posture and what goes on between our ears, right? How we think about everything. I've heard it said that what we think about a problem or an issue is actually more important than the problem or the issue. Isn't that wild? But it's true. Just like my whole idea about the cardio, what I thought about it was actually more important than even getting the cardio, because I wasn't going to do it until I changed my mindset. And if we don't address our thoughts, we're just going to keep repeating those same self-sabotaging patterns, aren't we? And finally, mindset. It's so important. It influences everything, our movement, our healthy habits, and even how we talk to ourselves, which might be one of the most important things, right? Like I said, we wouldn't talk to Janie that way, but we'll talk to myself that way. Well, that needs to stop. We need to encourage ourselves and have grace with ourselves and be truthful, just like we would with our best friend. So you don't need the perfect plan. Whew. Are you excited? You're excited about that, right? You just might need a whole mindset. Just a mindset perspective shift. And I'm here to help you do that, a new perspective. In the next video, I hope you'll join me, because we're going to talk about how the important role that movement plays in creating a vibrant, healthy life. And so again, in small steps, just like I talked about with the mindset, it can be something so simple as what I found out about including just a little bit more cardio. So hope you join me next time. And I'd love to hear, did this resonate with you? Are you excited? Did you download the day 1 of the Fresh Reset? Because it's really powerful. I know I created it, but as I was doing it, I was like, wow, this is really powerful. And you just heard how I had to shift my own mindset. So I'd love to hear, did anything resonate with you? And drop in the comments below. And if you have any questions about the Flourish Collective, I'd love to answer them for you.